Before cannons thundered, before tanks rolled, and before aircraft darkened the skies, armies relied on another weapon of terror, a mountain of flesh and fury. With towering tusks, armored hides, and the strength to crush men beneath their feet, they were the war elephants. Among all ancient commanders, none used them more famously than Hannibal of Carthage. When his soldiers marched toward Rome, they did not march alone. Giants of the battlefield walked beside them. The Carthaginians had inherited the art of training elephants from North Africa and India. These were not circus beasts. They were bred and hardened for war, taught to trample, gore, and scatter enemies who dared to stand in their path. A war elephant was more than an animal. It was a living engine of fear. Standing 3 meters tall, weighing over 5 tons, its very presence could break a line of infantry before the first charge. In battle, the Carthaginians fitted them with armor plates, sharp tusk blades, and howdahs, wooden towers strapped to their backs, where javelin throwers and archers rained death from above. To face one was to fight a fortress on legs. But Hannibal's greatest feat was not just using them in war, it was bringing them where no one thought possible. In 218 BC, during the Second Punic War, he led his army and dozens of elephants across the Alps. Snow, cliffs, and ice claimed thousands of men. But still, the beasts marched on. When the Roman scouts finally saw the Carthaginian host descending into Italy, they also saw shadows rising above the soldiers. For the first time, Rome would face elephants on its own soil. The effect was immediate. At the Battle of Trebia, Hannibal unleashed his elephants into the freezing river. Roman horses panicked at the scent. Their formations broke, and chaos spread through the ranks. The elephants trampled soldiers, tore through shields, and left the river red with blood. But these creatures were not invincible. Roman commanders quickly learned that fear could be turned against them. Flaming projectiles, piercing trumpets, and concentrated volleys of spears drove many elephants mad, making them as dangerous to friend as to foe. By the time Hannibal's war dragged on, few of his elephants remained. Most perished in the Alps, others fell to Roman steel, and some simply starved on campaign. Yet the memory of their terror never left the Roman mind. Rome adapted and eventually adopted. In later centuries, elephants were displayed in triumphs and used in gladiatorial games, proof that the beast that once terrified them had been tamed by the empire. Even so, the image of Hannibal's elephants, shrouded in mist, climbing icy peaks, and thundering into battle, has endured as one of the greatest spectacles of ancient warfare. For they were not just animals. They were symbols of power, fear, and ambition. The living tanks of antiquity.